I told myself when I grow up, I'll do it different. I have a love that's more sunflower than sandpaper. If blessed with a daughter, she will inhale the scent of my laughter, and her breath will never become heavy from holding the sounds of my scream. Always told myself when I grow up.
I love the way that they chose to tell the story in a kind of spoken word poetry narration over top of like silent scenes, silent to us. And they're able to capture so much raw emotion. And we can see the story. But I think it also touches on really important topics, which is breaking generational traumas, knowing that you are responsible for stopping that cycle. Because if you carry it on, you are then perpetuating the same violence, the same harm that was done to you. And I thought it was really powerful seeing this woman going to therapy. And I think that oftentimes in different Black communities and cultures, therapy is not something that, and mental health in general is just not something that's really discussed. Or if it is, it's something that's to be done in private, in secret, because there's still a stigma and a shame around it. And so I think that having that representation of a Black woman taking it upon herself to be a better person so she can be a better mother, so she can be a better partner, and do better by her daughter than was done to her, I think is really powerful. I think it's really inspiring. And I think it'll be really good for other Black audiences to see this and normalize that, prioritizing yourself. And by doing that, the immense benefits that it can have for all of the people whose lives you touch.
This hit me where I live. It's about my Black people in therapy and that complicated relationship, and also like the past traumas and its thoughts of me. Oh man, you don't know how real that is. I guess you do know. Yeah, that a little hit a little too close to home for me, for real. Like thinking back to my own history with therapy and like my parents and all of that. Oh man, you really speaking for the people on that one.
I loved the choice to not have dialogue within the film. Everything is silent apart from the voiceover, which is really powerful. It almost feels like spoken word poetry, the cadence of it, and it really hits home. And I think that the voice actor was amazing in this. So that was really powerful. I loved the theme of breaking the cycle, and it ends with me, and how prevalent that is in this society. Just ending that cycle of passing on the trauma that your parents passed on to you, onto your own kids. So I like that choice, and just visually it was done really well, and having a film that is that powerful without having any dialogue is really special. I really enjoyed this film and its powerful message.
What a beautiful film. Everything about this was just so expertly crafted. This was perfection. It really was. I think it was very relatable, the story. I mean, what person doesn't want to be a better version of what their parents were for their own children? They don't want to make the same mistakes that their mother and father did. And then when they start to realize that they actually do something very proactive about it to change it. I loved the voiceover in this. Great emotion. I loved the cadence. It was almost, there were areas where it was almost like a poem, a song. She did such an incredible job with that. I thought it was great. All of the acting in it was great. The filmmakers did a great job with the cinematography, the lighting, how this was crafted, how it was put together. It was just great.
To me, it was like a music video, except it was a spoken word video. Is what it felt like to me. It felt like this was a poem, and it was really well read, and I loved the film that went with it, the depiction of what this poem meant to this person, and I loved the message. Generational patterns, breaking those patterns, and what it really takes. And you think you can do it easily, and just because you're aware of it, but it really does take a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort to get past the mentality of it. I don't really think it takes a lot of effort to actually put into practice, but you have to get over those mental boundaries first. And I just love that they showed that. The filmmakers showed that progression, and I loved how it was done. I just thought this was unique and creative, well acted. The acting was strong. The narration was strong. Everything about it, the pacing, editing, directing, camera work, it was all really well done. And I thank you for doing this. I just think it is so different and unique and creative, and maybe showing a message we've known about, but I really don't see a lot of, as far as breaking generational habits and patterns. And I mean, I guess it's out there, maybe not quite so, it just wasn't put in this way, in my opinion, ever. And I really liked the way that the filmmakers portrayed this.
Poetic film actually had the message I needed to hear. We do fear becoming our parents a lot, and I love that this film was told completely through poetry, and the rest had to rely on the actors. The makeup and hair was quite well too, along with showing the divisions in time and how things can change over time. The poetic message really is a universal message that most people need, because we often get caught up in our own heads and our own issues, and we don't think, and we end up repeating cycles over and over again. This is a film that many people should see, just because the poetic message is a universal theme that almost anybody can relate to, where we do need to start breaking certain cycles and figuring out what's wrong within us in order to do that.